What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reall's World Podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things content creation, gaming, and we might even dive into a little bit of pop culture news. My name is Realla, and yes, it has been a while from the last episode, or should I say since the last episode. We basically were trying to, get things on all content sides on track, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but I have a lot that I have been waiting to talk about and discuss with you guys. So I'm really excited for this episode. But like always, if you guys have enjoyed thus far, and if you are a returning person, I want to say thank you for coming back week after week, especially after this long break. And, showing the love you guys have been showing. If you guys don't know, this podcast is available on basically any platform that you want to listen to podcasts on. And then we also have our video versions on YouTube, on Facebook as well. And they've got our clips going on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So if you want to, gather in the podcast in whatever way you want to get it, whether it's short form, long form, or audio only, I've got basically every single option for you. So go show those pages some love. Basically anywhere, just type in the Realla. No, it's Reall's World Podcast. My fault. Reall's World Podcast. You can type that in basically everywhere, and you'll see my pages for this podcast. A couple of things I want to, before we get into the episode, I do have a special guest coming pretty soon. It's one of my longtime IRL friends. You guys have probably seen him. If you know me from streaming, you've seen him on maybe a couple of streams. If you know me from YouTube, you've definitely heard his voice in some of the videos. And I think that's going to be a very fun episode because this person probably knows more about me than any of my other friends. So if you guys got any questions that you want to ask about me to him, make sure you guys leave them in the comments below, or you can email them to me. The email is reallasworldquestions@gmail.com. And again, or you can join the Discord. I do have a section for Q&A. Whatever you guys want to ask, I'm very open, and things that I've gone through and talked about or will talk about, so you guys can ask whatever you want. And that episode should be coming really soon to you guys. It might not be the next one, but really soon, so you got a little bit of time to get those questions in. But let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. This first topic I've been really wanting to talk about. I just kind of wanted to find the right words, and recently it's been popping up more and more like within my circle. And basically what I want to talk about is the rise and the coming use of AI. I've been very clear on my stance when it comes to AI. I feel like AI is a great tool when used appropriately. I do agree that there are people who are abusing it, but there's tons of tools out there that we've had for years that people will abuse. For instance, I play 2K. There's a tool called a Zen. Basically, people use it to cheat. Its primary use wasn't for it to cheat on NBA 2K26, but that's what people use it for. So I know there is a lot of hate when it comes to just people like damn near saying the word AI. People get upset and they get mad about it, but there's AI in a lot of stuff that we use on a daily basis that you might not even think of. And especially as content creators, it kind of blows my mind. And when people are like, oh, I don't ever want to use AI and I'm completely against it. Dude, all the algorithms that we use and we want to get to push our platforms and our videos out on these platforms, it uses AI. So you actually do need it to gain the traction that you want for your content. Now, again, on the flip side, I do agree that there are people who are abusing it. I am not one for like going on ChatGPT, typing in a prompt, and then that prompt creation being your finished product. Again, I'm more on the side of AI should be a tool used to help create the finished product. It should not be the finished product. So all those like videos where it's an AI video and it still says Sora popping up around the screen, I'm not really for those. Yeah, I laugh at them. It's funny seeing a gorilla pop into a KFC and start cracking jokes, and then it falls and turns into a bunch of bananas. It's hilarious to see, but I do agree. I don't think that people should be able to really build a following or even like make money, that kind of stuff, off those videos alone, which a lot of platforms are against that as well. They're making it so those kind of videos can't be monetized or can't be used other than to just like share and have a couple laughs. And I'm okay with that. I've seen some people who are doing like those, like almost like short form animation TV shows where, again, 100% of it is you can tell they typed in a script, which they probably got the script from ChatGPT, but they typed in the script and they put it in one of the ones that can make the video, and then boom, that's your episode. Again, I don't agree with that as well. I don't want you guys to think that I'm saying, oh, all AI usage is great. No, that kind of stuff I don't like. I do feel like that is the downsides of AI. Again, there is good and bad for basically every single tool that we use on a daily basis. I don't really like that stuff. I think I think that kind of stuff is taken away from the creativity of creatives, and it's making things a little lazy. But again, if people are using it to kind of help. So for example, if you've seen some of my content, I do use AI in certain things. So if you've ever been to one of my streams, I do have like a little character that I use. I basically use AI to create that character. So it's not just, I didn't just type in a prompt and whatever. I kind of drew what I wanted and kind of figured it out. And it took actually a long time to get it to be able to build the character exactly how I want it, because the character is a combination of basically a bunch of different Dragon Ball Z characters in one. Also, it's a reflection of me as well. So it is a unique character in the sense that it's not like I just took Goku and made him this. I pieced a bunch of stuff together and then kind of made it with him in my own likeness, with the Dragon Ball Z animation style. My stream, if you guys don't know, if you've never been to my stream, it's kind of like Dragon Ball like themed. If you're watching the video version, you see me wearing a Majin hat. I like Dragon Ball, so that's kind of the theme of my stream. If you ever stop by it, twitch.tv/TheGRealla, if you want to come by the stream. But that character is like I said, it was generated using AI, and then it does like emote. It moves, it walks, and it waves. However, that character is not my stream. Literally, all it does is it waves hi to people. It'll walk on stream, wave, walk off, and then like do little things. But it's not the stream. It's just like a little like ornament basically on the Christmas tree that I call my stream. And that's the kind of stuff I'm okay with. Now, there is another side that I know people say is like, they don't like people using AI because it's taken away jobs from other people. Now, I'm gonna be honest, like with that thing that's that little character that's being animated, it's not a huge part of my stream. It's not if I didn't have it, my stream would not change. You wouldn't even notice. Like if I deleted it and never used it again, probably people wouldn't notice. They might think about it for a week, but no one would care. Hopefully y'all are coming to my stream for me, but it's not a big part of my stream. It's a little thing. And I mean, technically, yes, I guess you could say maybe I could have got someone to draw it and animate and all that stuff. However, I'm gonna be very honest, I would have never paid for that. The only reason why I have that character and have it do the things that it does is because I could do it for free. There's no need for me to have it other than it's kind of cool, but I would never have paid somebody to do that. So it's not like I'm taking a job from someone or whatever, because if I could not have gotten it for free, there would have been no opportunity to create that thing. Now there are certain things that I feel like should be used and done by a graphic artist or someone who draws something like that, like logos. Like for example, if you guys have seen my GRealla logo, that was created by a graphic designer. There's a whole bunch of steps that took into getting that, which I will be very, 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 very transparent. I did try to create that logo with AI. I tried my hardest. I'm gonna be very honest. It wasn't my first choice to try it with AI. I had about 4 different graphic designers that I spoke to over the course of almost 2 years. Actually 5, because the 5th one was the one who actually created it. But technically 5 over the course of about 2 years to try to create that logo for me. And 4 out of the 5, terrible. One guy literally went to Google and got a stock image and basically like colored it, which I could have done on Canva in 2 seconds, and tried to give that to me as a logo. And I paid a pretty penny for that. Obviously I gave him like a deposit, which was half. I'm not going to tell you how much money it was. I did get scammed. and then I was supposed to pay the second half once I got the product and I okayed it and it was good. It was not good. It was not good. I don't even think I have. If I have the design, I'll put it up on the screen for the video version. I don't think I have it anymore. 99% sure I deleted it, but it was terrible. It was, like I said, basically a Google stock image, and they just kind of colored it differently through like Canva or Photoshop or whatever. And that was the first guy. Second person, again, I'm not going to name any of these people. I'm not that messy. But the second person, sent them basically every single piece of the logo that I wanted, all my ideas, asked them for feedback. Never saw anything. Nothing ever came of it. I waited a long time, kind of asked here and there about it, but I wasn't going to like super push anybody who I could tell didn't really want to do the work. It was really annoying because the person offered and said they would do it because I had talked about the previous encounters that I had. And nothing ever came of it. It was about 6 months, and not 6 months. That's a little exaggerating. I'd probably say about 2 months, and literally, I don't even think a line was drawn. A single line was drawn. So that was another experience that I had that was pretty bad. Another couple people, again, really, really bad drawings. You could tell that. I think one of them honestly used an AI generated image. It looked like it was an AI generated image because, like I said, I had tried to do it and it looked just like the stuff I tried to do, which was crazy to me. And I know that there's, again, people out there doing stuff like that. And then I finally found a guy who could do it for me. He was awesome, very good, even gave me some of his feedback. And he helped me come up with what we have for my logo. And I love it. I don't think I could have got anything like that through AI. Again, I did try. I'm gonna be very honest. I did try. So stuff like that. And again, I will use that logo, and I've paid for it. It's mine. I will use that logo on like clothing and stuff like that. Those kind of things, if you're going to use it on a product or it be the product, I don't think you should be able to just go on Google, type in a prompt, and then it comes up, and then boom, you put it on t-shirts and sell it. That I don't agree with that. Stuff like that, I feel like should be drawn by an animator and things of that nature. If it's taking like likenesses and stuff like that, again, that's bad. That's not good. That's the same concept of me just taking someone's video, putting it on my YouTube, and acting like it's mine. It's very bad. Obviously, there's tools that we have that can rip videos and do that stuff as well. There's tools that you can download a TikTok video, take off the watermarks, and then upload it on your own and be perfectly fine. Again, every tool has its good and bad sides. So I've used that same tool. Ironically, I have a channel that I started, and I've used that same tool to download my old videos from a different channel to re-upload them on this one because they fit this channel more. So again, there's tools and you can use them for good or bad, every single tool. But I really do feel like the whole AI discussion, some people, they have good points, and I understand when we're talking about like the environmental dangers of it. I understand that 100%. Now, again, I don't think that we should be building these places if they're truly polluting air and polluting water, stuff like that. I think we need to find better solutions for these farms and stuff like that to have it even be functioning. We should find better solutions for that kind of thing. Yes, I do agree with that, but I feel like some people's stance on AI in general, like they just kind of group it into one. Like just AI is just bad, and it's there are parts of it that are bad. There are parts of it that are scary. Like some of those videos where they're recreating like people who have passed away are scarily like real looking. Now I think we have to come up with better detection software to make sure people know like, hey, this is 100% AI. Now, like me, someone who's on the internet and understands that stuff, it's easier for me to, I can look at it and see that person has 7 fingers for no reason, or the words in the back are written in half English, half Chinese. Like I can distinguish AI versus real easily. Again, they look close, but it's really easy to tell. You can tell AI is like real-ish, but it's always like kind of uncanny. Like it doesn't look real. But someone who's not really on the internet could easily be tricked by that stuff, and I've seen it. I've had my parents call and be like, "Did you see blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "That was definitely an AI video." I was like, "Oh, okay." You know what I'm saying? So, again, that kind of stuff. It just depends on how people are using it. But like even for like work, my job, I don't want to say they force us. And my job doesn't can't really force me to do anything, but they encourage us to use like ChatGPT for certain things, and it does help out a lot. It makes my life a lot easier. It allows me to get work done a lot quicker, which allows me to do more things. I kind of think of it as like when the Amazon sent out the Alexas for the first time. When that happened, I used to work at Best Buy, and I'll never forget like when those things got in the stores and it was becoming like a mainstream thing. People were just as scared of it as they are now with like AI. Oh, I don't want it spying on me. I don't want it listening in. I don't want it doing and stuff like that. And I told them, I was like, look, at the end of the day, you got a cell phone in your pocket. If the people who you think want to spy on you, like the government or whatever, they can do it from the cell phone in your pocket. Easier than they can do it through. I got one right here, so I ain't gonna say her name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. I don't want to activate it, but like they can just, tap into cameras on the street cameras. Like they can find you if they really wanted to. And also, we're normal people. Like, why is the government going to be spending millions to come and spy on me? You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. So I remember that was happening, and I feel like it's a similar reaction. Now I feel like also with the AI, again, with it being able to like recreate people, it's a little bit more dangerous than that thing actually putting something on your shopping cart and it comes to your door by accident. Like, you know what I mean? You can have some bigger implications from that, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's something that it's going to be with us, it's going to be a part of our lives. It's going to be something that's still growing. So we have to learn to kind of work with it. And if it can help better your life, then use it. For example, for me, one of the things that I literally use AI on a daily basis, there's two things I use it for. One, I have this program, it's called Repurpose, and not a sponsor, but if y'all want to sponsor me, feel free. But basically what it does is it kind of shoots your content to all different places. Now, I run 5 different channels. Basically all those channels have their own socials minus Twitter. I just have the one Twitter and the Twitter for the podcast. But it basically puts my content in different places. Like it puts it all, I upload it to one spot and it just distributes it everywhere. Uses that. Another thing I use it for is the clips for the podcast. So one of the biggest reasons I took a break from this podcast was, yes, I could film these podcast episodes and get them out, but if you're a content creator, doesn't matter what content you're doing, whether you're streaming, whether you're doing YouTube, if you're not creating short form content from that long form content, you're just not really going to get discovered as easily. You've got to be making this short form content. So if you're a streamer, you clip your streams. If you're a podcast person, you clip your podcasts, stuff like that. Or you're just literally making short form content, which is discoverable. So for the podcast, I could easily have pumped out these podcast episodes and then boom, threw them up on YouTube and then just saw what happened. But yes, I do love doing this podcast. I do like it, but obviously I want to grow this podcast so I can do more things with it. And I just did not have the time to take away from my other content creation to sit here and now clip up another hour-long thing. I just didn't have the time. Well, there is tons of programs online. Again, this ain't no sponsor, so I might even redact the other name. I'm not gonna lie. I might redact it, because if you ain't paying me, I ain't gonna give you no free promo. But I have another program that basically will take the podcast, upload it, and it finds clippable parts and then just basically makes the clips for you. Now, it doesn't do it to where it's like click a button and it's perfect. I still do have to do like tweaks and edits, and a lot of times, honestly, I'm completely rearranging those clips. Like it still probably takes me about 5 to 10-ish minutes per clip to put them out. What I basically do is right after this podcast, I'm gonna spend an hour just getting all the clips done from it. Probably take me about an hour and a half, depending on how long this episode ends up being. But I still have to do some tweaks. It's not perfect. It's not a human at the end of the day, but it does the job of chopping it up for me is the biggest thing. And I would not honestly be able to do this podcast and to grow it if I didn't have that AI clipper. Basically, there's no way. I just don't have the time. I don't have the time. I'm not a full-time streamer. I have a 9-to-5 job, and for all this stuff I want to do, Like, this is really just like a passion project, so I couldn't devote what I know I need to be doing to just this. This is just something I want to do and I love doing. I love talking to you guys, love being real with you guys. But again, I didn't want to just throw up episodes and have it sit there. There's no point in doing that. So if you can find ways to make AI make your life easier, just try it. Just try it. Just do it. It's not as scary as you think. When you're lumping it all together as like one thing, then it can sound scary. But like the stuff that's doing the clipping for my stream or for my podcast is not the same thing that's recreating Kobe Bryant videos of him going to a KFC. They're two separate things, but they're known as AI. So that's my take on that. I did want to talk about that because I in my inner circle, these past like month, 2 months, I feel like AI has kind of infiltrated in different directions, different takes, all that stuff. I've had a couple conversations about it, so I just want to put my 2 cents out there so everyone can kind of understand where I'm coming from, because I do use it. I don't hide it. I don't hide the fact that I use it. I'm not ashamed or anything, because I use it in a way that I think I morally think is okay. Again, for me, it is a tool that helps me do more. Honestly, it helped me do a lot more. And again, you could say, hey, well, now there's one less person making money off those clips. I wouldn't do the podcast. I'm just be honest with you. I wouldn't. I'm not in a financial situation to where I could pay someone to do it. Now, if I was, I would. If I was, I would. I 100% think that a person clipping these same things, it'd be better. It'd be 10 times better. But I can't devote that time, nor can I pay someone to devote that time. I could pay someone, but I couldn't pay someone what I would feel comfortable paying them for that, if that makes sense. Like, I can get someone to do it for super cheap and rip them off, but I'm not going to do that. So again, there just wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't have that tool available for me. So I'm still not taking anything from anybody. I do want to get to the point to where I can have someone do my clips. Honestly, the gaming clips that I do, those are all edited by me. Those take more time. Those take way more time. I really wish I could pay someone to do that for me. Edit my YouTube videos, like all that kind of stuff. That's what takes the most time. This is like a pretty quick thing. And again, for me, AI is just a tool that I use to allow me to do more things and get more content out to you guys, to anyone who likes my content. That's what I use it for. I get the other side, but in my opinion, it's not as bad as like people are trying to make it out to be. There are bad side effects, but there are bad side effects to basically everything that we use and do on a daily basis. So that's my take on that. Again, just wanted to get my point out there because I do use it. I do use it publicly. I don't shy away from it. If someone says something about it to me, I'll have that conversation. I'm okay with it. I feel like a lot of times people who are completely against it are rarely willing to like hear you out on your side of it. But here's what it is. That's my side. But moving on to a kind of more fun topic. Today is November 21st, which means next week is Black Friday. And there are a ton of Black Friday deals coming out. Before we move on, if y'all are still listening, I want y'all to go in the comments below and let me know one thing that you're going to try to get or are going to get for Black Friday. Me, and I feel real old about to say this. I'm not getting anything gaming. I'm not getting anything computer related. I'm buying a blender. I'm buying a blender. Yes, a kitchen household product I will be buying. My current Ninja blender, I've had it for a long time. I had it actually when I bought it, when I worked at Best Buy. We used to have discounts and I got a really good deal on it. It's like a $100 Ninja blender I got for like $50. And I used that thing. I ran it down. Like the motor doesn't really work that well. Like I used to use that thing all the time. So I used to make these fruit smoothies. I call them smoothies. It's literally just fruit and water. Like I would put the mixed fruit in there with some water, blend it up, and then drink it. Delicious for me. Some people don't like that. It's not like super sweet, but for me, it was amazing. That was my little like sweet treat that I would have. And that thing's been out of commission for like 6-7 months. It got to the point where like it still could blend, but you can smell the like motor burning, and I don't think you can really fix that. And if you can, I can't fix it. I'm not gonna try. So for this Black Friday, I'll be getting me a new blender, and I am extremely excited. That's like gonna be the highlight of my week. I'm not when that thing gets here, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be so happy. I'm gonna be extremely excited. But there are some really good gaming deals. The biggest thing that I've seen so far is the PS5. I don't think I've seen a sale as big as this for the PS5. The PS5 is going to be I think it's up to $100 off. It might be different for different versions. Actually, no. Every single version is $100 off right now, which is probably the best deal that you're going to see on a high-end console. But hear me out. I feel like maybe if you held out on the PS5 this long, like if you still got your PS4, you got your PS4 Pro, and you've just been gaming on that, or if you're a PC gamer but you've been thinking about a console, maybe go ahead and jump on the PS5 bandwagon. But I do think with this sale, it kind of proves more and more the PS6 is coming out. I don't think 26, but definitely 2027. So really, if you go and buy a PS5 now, you'll probably get a good deal, but the new one's going to come out in a year or two. Next year, I feel like we're going to start seeing commercials or getting more news about it. If we don't see commercials next year, 2020, like early 2027, we're going to see like commercials and things about the PS6. So if you do get it, hey, happy for you. If you play 2K, come hoop with me. But if you can, maybe wait it out. I don't know. I feel like PS6 is coming. And what's crazy about that is this is my little conspiracy theory I got going on. I feel like that's also why GTA 6 keeps getting delayed. Now, this is going to age me a little bit. Hear me out. I got some. There's a method to the madness right now. The PS6 or the GTA 6. If you notice, it keeps getting delayed. They keep saying they want to make the game better. All that stuff. Cool. I do believe that. I do believe that they want the game to be perfect because the hype for this game is insane. And if they came out with a terrible product, like I don't know what the reaction in the world would be if the product was bad. But the GTA 6 is supposed to come out next year. I think we were supposed to get it. I think if it came out on its original date, we would have gotten it this year, if I'm not mistaken. But if you remember when GTA 5 came out, again, this is going to show my age. I was in high school when GTA 5 came out. GTA 5 came out on the PS3. Yeah, GTA 5 has been out for that long. It came out on the PS3. I think it was 2013, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 2013, like the end of 2013. Around the same time, GTA 6 is coming out. But it came out on the end of the PS3 run. I think like shortly after that game came out is when they announced the PS4. And you started seeing commercials for the PS4. And then like a year after the PS3 version came out, the PS4 dropped and the PS4 version came out. I think the PS4 came out maybe like a couple months before. And then maybe like that December-ish. GTA 4 or GTA 5 came out on the PS4, but they basically got the double dip. They had two games sold a year apart, but it's the same game. It was the same game. I don't think there was like a slight graphical update when you got the PS4 version, and I can't remember if the PS3 version had online. I feel like it did. I feel like it had to have online. No, I don't remember. I know obviously the PS3 had online, but I don't remember if GTA 6 online came out until the PS4. I don't remember. I do feel like I remember driving around on the PS3, but regardless, they basically got the double dip. Within 2 years of showing the same game to the same person. I bought two versions of GTA 5. Basically gonna have to do that again with GTA 6. That's what I feel like they're gonna do. And I ain't gonna lie, I can't blame them. Like, hey, if you're gonna buy the PS5 and get the PS6 when it comes out and get GTA on both of them, like, hey, more power to you. Rockstar, Take-Two Interactive, y'all are geniuses. Y'all have found a way to keep a game relevant for. This is probably the longest run I've ever seen for a video game. Probably the next is Minecraft, and then, well, I mean, you've got your World of Warcraft, you got stuff like that, yes, but to this magnitude because RP is still so huge. Minecraft, Fortnite, popularity wise, like people who are still like RP streams are huge. I don't really see that many like World of Warcraft streams. League of Legends, stuff like that. I don't really see that. I'm not in that space, so I don't know. Maybe hey, I could be wrong. I apologize. I'm not trying to disrespect y'all, but I know you're typing in the comments right now. Chill out. I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just not in that space. So I don't know, but I don't feel like they're as big as like RP streams, RP content, stuff like that. And GTA 5 is still going strong. They went and bought 5M, which was genius. So they basically found like an infinite money glitch. I'm not gonna lie. They basically found an infinite money glitch, and I feel like they're gonna do the exact same thing with GTA 6. It's gonna come out twice in the span of 2 years. People are gonna get it, but there might be a loophole. If you've been paying attention to the gaming space, there's this new console, whatever you want to call it, potentially coming out, or not potentially, it's coming out next year. The Steam Machine. Now, we don't know the pricing. We know what it looks like, but we don't know the pricing. I don't think they showed the full specs on it. Like, we know it's supposed to, it's basically a high-end computer in a small form factor. But the Steam Machine might be the hack to not have to buy like GTA 6 twice and like other games of that nature. If you don't know what the Steam Machine is, Steam company, basically Valve, they're the ones who made like the Steam Deck. It's the handheld PC basically. They used to make the VR. I forget the name of their VR. Were they Oculus? And then Meta bought Oculus? Or was theirs? No, they weren't Vive. That was HTC. They used to make the high-end VR glasses as well. I can't remember what it was called. But they are coming out with another VR headset as well. But basically they're the ones who make those things. The Steam Deck, which started a whole revolution of these handheld PCs. Like every company has a handheld PC now, or they've partnered in making a handheld gaming device. Obviously we have the Switch, but now PlayStation has the Portal. Microsoft doesn't have their own, or I guess you could say Xbox. They don't have their own, but they partnered with other companies to come out with a version. It's popular. I mean, more and more people are having to game on the go, or like just gaming when they have some free time, or just want to like be in the bed and game. So the handheld gaming is super popular, and it's a genius idea, bro. Being able to play your PC titles in your hand wherever you go is genius. And one thing people forget is you ain't gotta pay for online on a computer. It's free. Comes with it. Comes with it. I ain't gotta pay $15.99 like I do for PlayStation Plus on Steam. I just get the games. Steam sales are amazing. There's so many different games that are not only free but super, super cheap. A lot of the games that I had the most fun with are under like $10. It's fun for a little bit of time, but still a lot of fun. You have a bigger variety of games you can play. And then now it's even crazier. The fact that like all these Xbox games with the Xbox Games Pass and all these PlayStation games are coming to PC as well. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of looking very scary for like the name brands that we've been used to. For Nintendo's gonna be its own. Nintendo's never gonna give up their IPs and have it come to a PC. You can get them, but they're never gonna just do that like how Sony and Microsoft are doing with their games, their exclusives. But why do I need a PS5 or PS6 if I can just play the same games on my Steam machine for free and still use my controller? If I like I can use whatever controller I want at that point. I ain't gonna lie, I do have a PlayStation. Xbox controller is more comfortable. I'm gonna be honest. I said it. The Xbox controller is more comfortable. I just can't use it. So why would I buy a PlayStation? I'll be honest, the only reason why I have my PlayStation is to play 2K and Madden. If the PC versions of it were like more supported through those companies, I will just buy the PC versions. But they're just not. They're just not supported like they are or should be. So I have to buy the console versions. That's where most of your competition is. But I mean, now with the Steam machine potentially making it more like a mainstream, you might start seeing more support for the PC versions of these games. And if that's the case, bye. I mean, I already use Discord. I don't even like getting into PlayStation parties. I hate it. Like it's annoying. Then on top of that, I had been considering buying a second PC to do a PC like setup, like a dual PC setup. Just because my current PC is a little bit older, it doesn't struggle to play games, but it struggles to play games and stream sometimes. Like Marvel Rival, I have to have it on like the lowest settings. I can't multi-stream like I would like to. So a dual PC setup would help with that. However, I could just plug the Steam machine in to my Elgato just like I do my PlayStation. Boom, instant dual PC setup. And it's easier. It's easier to do it. I can play everything on there. I would have to get a second keyboard, obviously, keyboard and mouse, but I'm cool with that. I'm never going back to controller. I don't care nobody. I'll never go back to controller. I have to get a new keyboard or mouse, or just I'd probably honestly just get like a cheap one for my like PC, because I wouldn't game on this anymore. This would be purely editing and streaming, and then I would game basically on the Steam machine. So I think it's really, really cool because they've said that you can basically use it as a PC. Like it's built like a PC. So you can do everything on there. You can get your Discords on there. You can get all your PC games. You can do your PC mods. Think of, again, going back to GTA, the amount of kids who wish they could do RP but are stuck on console and can now do it because they can put 5M on the Steam machine. RP is about to get a whole second life. Like, these servers are about to go insane. I wish the Steam machine came out for Christmas, because I promise you, depending on its price, because we don't know the price yet, but depending on its price, if it came out during these holidays, it would probably be the biggest seller. I put that on, not everything. At least my phone. I put it on my phone, but it would probably be the biggest seller because it eliminates so many other issues for gamers and just people in general. Like I'm really, really excited for the Steam machine to hear more about it. The only thing I am nervous about, and what it all comes down to, is pricing. Because if that thing is priced anywhere close to just a normal PC, I'm probably just going to get a normal PC, because since that thing is so compact, I doubt you're going to be able to swap parts easily. So once it gets outdated, just like a console, like the PS4, it's outdated. You got to upgrade to get a new one. That's my guess. Again, I don't know. They haven't released that kind of information, but I haven't seen many things that small that where you can just take out a hard drive. Not a hard drive, yes, but like take out a graphic card, put a new one in, and then boom, you're good to go. But yeah, if it's priced anywhere close to like a PC, I'm gonna just get me a PC, and then I can upgrade it as I go, stuff like that. If it's priced 4 to 7, really 4 to 6, hey, Steam, Valve, y'all got it. Y'all will be the best selling console, whatever the heck you want to call yourself. Y'all will have the best selling console probably ever. I buy it. I don't gotta pay for online. I can still play all my Microsoft games. I can still play pretty much most of my PS5, Sony exclusives on this. I can play both on this. Y'all win. And this, honestly, if that's the case, it's going to be looking real scary for Sony and Microsoft. I'm not going to lie. I don't see, like, I feel like there are still those people who are like just weirdly like loyal to Sony and Microsoft, like weirdly. I got a PlayStation because more of my friends had PlayStation, and up until now, crossplay wasn't really that big of a thing in the games that I played. That's why I got a PlayStation. If I could have got an Xbox, because I think the Xboxes were cheaper, I got an Xbox. But when I first got this, crossplay wasn't really that big of a thing in the games that I played, so I had to get a PlayStation. More of my friends had PlayStation. And I feel like that's how most people picked their lane. But you still got those people who are just like die-hard Sonys and die-hard. There's no reason for that nowadays, bro. You got crossplay, gang. And you can play, you're about to be able to play Halo on a PlayStation. You can play God of War on your PC. Shut up. So, since you can now do all that on PC, I think that Steam machine is going to be one of the biggest things that comes out in a very long time. I'm super excited for it. Again, it all depends on price. Valve, I don't know what you put in that thing, but just please be smart. Just that's all I can say. Please be smart when it comes to pricing. You have something that I think will be for years amazing, but you can screw it up if it costs too much. Like the Steam Deck, that's the thing about the Steam Deck. Steam Deck was, in my opinion, very fairly priced. I remember when it first got announced, I thought it was going to be super expensive, and it wasn't. I don't remember the price off the top of my head right now, but I remember when I heard the price, I was pretty like, okay, like that's fair. Like that's fair. So I'm kind of feeling like this is going to be fairly priced. I don't think they're going to go crazy. They're not dumb. They're not going to put out a $1,500 thing. No one's going to buy that. No one's buying this for $1,500. You can go get a pre-built. So no one's buying that. It's got to be priced somewhere near a console because it's basically a console replacement. So that should be coming out next year. Y'all let me know in the comments. Are y'all excited about the Steam Machine? Have y'all heard about it? Is this the first time you're hearing about the Steam Machine? If so, Valve, y'all owe me a check. You're welcome. But let me know in the comments if you're thinking about picking one up and what you're gonna do with it. Are you gonna use it like a dual setup, or are you just gonna use it to play some games? I'm wondering if it's strong enough for people to stream on, because that's also huge too. If it's strong enough to like play like a lower end game and stream. Because I think it had USBs. You can plug an Elgato into it. I'm assuming you can. They said it runs like a PC. That opens up streaming for like PC streaming for a lot more people. You can use that. The ideas I have for this thing, if it pans out to what I think it's going to pan out to, got so many ideas. But yeah, I'm super excited. Again, in the comments, let me know if you've heard about it, if you're going to try to pick one up when it comes out, and then let me know what you would use for it. They also got these really cool like skins that you can put on them. I saw one that was a companion cube from Portal. I will be getting that on my Steam Machine if I get one, 100%. I will have that day one. I think you can like 3D print them or buy them, whatever you got to do to get it. I will have it. I promise you. That will be on my Steam Machine day one. I'm basically going to order it with the Steam Machine if I get it. Same time. Portal, if you don't know, is one of my favorite games of all time. Portal 1 and 2. I love that game. Love those stories. I gotta do a replay of that. I haven't played that game in so long. I should play the story mode with somebody. Maybe like my brother. We could do a playthrough of the story. It's not like the story. It was like a side thing with the two robots from Portal 2, where you're basically just doing the puzzles together. It's co-op. I think a playthrough with me and my brother would be hilarious because, I think it'd be funny for a bunch of different reasons. I think it'd be funny for y'all. I should say. I can already feel myself getting a little irritated just thinking about that. But that kind of leads me into my next topic. One thing I also been kind of wanting to talk about is because this has also been like brought up to me multiple times. I was actually having a conversation with one of my homies about this literally like 2 days ago. So it's been fresh on my mind for a while. But what we were talking about basically is like how to start a gaming group, how to start a content group, and what it takes to get one going. Now, I can't tell you how to do that. I can't tell you how to start one. I cannot tell you how to have one that's successful. Reason why? All the ones that I've been in or tried to do have failed. I can tell you the reasons why I feel like they failed from my point of view. Before I continue, because I was thinking about this before I decided to put this on my outline. I am in no way, shape, or form throwing shade at any of the people who I'm speaking about when I talk about this topic. The crazy part about that is I'm not going to say no names, but if some of these people, like people who are going to be, they're going to know that I'm talking about that situation, only they will know. But hey, if you're listening, I have no hard feelings. I do not feel any type of way about it. I'm just very honest in my own podcast, gang. That's all it is. So I'm not trying to throw shade your way. I'm going to be very honest from my point of view. If your point of view is different, hey, please let me know. Get at me. Get on the podcast. We can talk about it. I would love to hear, because all these situations that we're going to talk about, I don't think, besides one person, I don't think I've ever spoken about that to these people, because we don't really speak anymore for most of them. So yeah, I just want to throw a little disclaimer out there just in case. I can see this becoming a little messy thing, and I'm not talking about it to be messy. I just want to talk about what I experienced when trying to form these gaming groups. But like I said, I can't tell you how to be the next RDC. I can't tell you how to be the next AMP. I can't tell you how to be the next phase. I don't think you want to be the next phase, but I can't tell you how to do that. I can tell you how to fail. I can tell you how not to try to do it. And basically, I feel like it's one of those things that when you think about it in reality, or like when you think about it in concept, it sounds amazing. Hey, we're great friends. We all want to do content. Let's do it together, right? In concept, that sounds amazing. obviously you want to do things with your friends. If you guys are already having a good time playing video games, it makes sense to translate that into content, right? Obviously, people would love to see the fun that you have with your friends. It makes the most sense. But what I've come to like realize is there's a reason why there's only like 5 big content groups that have been around for a long time that are still there that I can think of. Again, there's probably some more obscure ones that I don't know, but your main ones, RDC, AMP, and FaZe-ish. Those are like your main, and FaZe has had their own issues. AMP have had their little, ups and downs, but they've stuck together very, very well throughout the years. I don't know of any RDC drama. There might be some. I don't know, but I haven't really heard any. I'm not too deep in the RDC lore, so I don't know, but I haven't heard much from them. But those are like the only 3 that off the top of my head I can think of that have been like successful for a long period of time. RDC still, they're newer. They've been around for a while, but they're newer. But anyway, and my reason why I think that is, and what I've kind of experienced is, people aren't really as honest with themselves as they should be and need to be. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times when I've started these groups, or even I've had other versions of this podcast as well, even when I've started those, in the beginning, it always is, oh yeah, I want to do this, bro. Like, let's lock in, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. Again, same thing with the podcast or the groups. Everyone's all excited. Boom, week 1, cool. Everyone's on board. Everyone's got their jobs. Everyone's doing it. It works. Week 2, still everyone's hype. It's that honeymoon phase, everyone's still hype. It's fresh. It's new. The work seems fun. And then week 3, one person maybe might be a little late to the session, or one other person don't feel like editing one day, or someone just, they a little tired for no reason. And then week 4, it just all starts to fall apart. And that's what I've kind of noticed, is because people get motivated real quick. Again, the idea of it sounds amazing. I'm going to be making content with my friends. It's going to be a lot of fun. Even if I got to edit, I'm editing for my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds fun. But then you got to do the work. You got to actually do the stuff. And that's the part that I think that gets a lot of people in a lot of these groups who try to make the content. And that's, for me, where I've seen all of the iterations of either the podcast or just the groups that I've been in, or even like the people who I'm just like, not necessarily we were forming a content group, but like a can't think of the word, accountability partner. Like it tends to fall apart, usually because one person is more dedicated or invested than the others or the other people. And then it's like one person is constantly like doing more, doing a lot, doing all the work, and the other person's doing less and less and less. Or the one person's trying to get the other person to do more, and then they fight back more because they're not really into it as much as they said they were, or as you are. And I feel like that's the thing that will keep people in these groups and stuff like that failing the most. It's just not being honest with yourself, what you really want to do, what your goals really are, and what you're really willing to do long term. I feel like to have these groups, like, you gotta always be on the same page. You gotta keep the main thing. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. That's who I first heard that from. But you gotta keep the main thing. If all of you have particular jobs you're supposed to do within that group to make the whole thing run, you gotta do it. I've heard AMP talk about that plenty of times. Like, if you listen to them talk about what's kept AMP going for so long, like, they understand, like, yeah, at the end of the day, AMP is a business. RDC is a business. They have DreamCon. Like, it's a business. Yes, they are friends, but sometimes working with your friend is harder than you think, because the work tends to kind of bleed into the relationship, stuff like that. But you guys got to really understand, like, what your mission is, what you're going for, and what you're trying to do. And everyone's got to understand their role. If I'm the editor and you're the person who does all the social media marketing, we got to be just as hungry as the other person. I got to be editing my ass off to get what we need done just as much as you're marketing the hell out of the podcast to get that stuff done. If people are the talent, you know what I'm saying? They got to be on time, ready to go. And like, obviously stuff happens, you might get sick, blah, blah, blah. And that's when you have the other people who are willing to step in and pick up the slack. And I know for a fact the podcasts that I tried to do, a couple of them failed just because, again, everyone was hype in the beginning, and then I quickly realized like they didn't really care as much as like I did or other people did. And then others, like I said, other people weren't willing to take on more if someone wasn't able to help or do something because of whatever reason. And then again, others just weren't really as hungry as they said they were, and they were not doing their part. So it just all kind of fell apart. And then same thing with the groups. You'll tell people, hey, we're going to be accountability partners, or we're going to form this group and we're going to put out this much content. And you got one guy who's going crazy with the content, and the other ones, or maybe two of the other ones, are just like kind of half-assing it, not streaming, not doing stuff. And it's kind of like, bro, we're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you hold me accountable if you're not doing it? And I can't, I'm trying to hold you accountable, but no matter what I say, you're still not doing it. I feel like that's, super, super, super hard to do. And you have to be all on the same page, all understanding your role, and all willing to put in the same amount of work and help each other. And unfortunately, in just my experience, I just haven't had that. I haven't had that yet. Like I said, that's the reason why I can't really tell you how to be successful at it. I wish I had the recipe. I will say that for me, I've had one of the things that I've purposely been trying to have myself do, like especially this year, is be willing to like collab and do things with other people. For years, I was solo. I was dead set on, I'm playing 2K by myself. I'm doing this by myself. Obviously, I tried these little podcasts, these little groups, they didn't work. So like, I was like, I don't want to bring nobody in. I'm not trying to share my community. And then this year, like I said, I was just like, let's, we don't have to do it. You don't have to do it that way. I started reaching out to people, doing collabs, playing games with other people, just that kind of thing. And it's honestly been fun. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed having the people come over, and it does a lot of times give you that boost you need. Now, I'm not like looking at these people and depending on them every single week to play a game with me. No, it's more like, hey, you're a really cool creator that I mess with. I'm a cool creator that you mess with. Let's collab a couple times, make some great content, continue to do our separate thing. And that's kind of what I've been enjoying a lot as recent, especially with this podcast. Again, there have been weeks that I've not done it for different reasons. And so I haven't really had to like stress about someone else being upset that I couldn't do it or didn't want to do it. I'm not gonna say didn't want to do it. I do want to do this every week. I have to make it make sense and I have time to do it. But I don't have to worry about anybody else. So for me, it has been easier to do certain things by myself, or just really just focus on myself. But the downside to that is I gotta do everything. I don't have my co-host to edit, and then I run the social medias, or my co-host to help me come up with topics. I gotta come up with my own topics, which is pretty easy for my podcast because this is more based off my personal experiences. So it's not really that hard to come up with topics. It's what I'm interested in and what you guys are interested in typically. So that's pretty easy, but like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have anybody to like help me with stuff. I do have like some of my friends will give me ideas to talk about stuff like that as well. But for the most part, I'm doing everything. Hence, full circle moment, the whole AI thing in the beginning that we were talking about is why I needed a tool to help me do some of this stuff, because I could not do it all by myself. And another big thing that I've learned to do as well, and this was super hard for me and still like is kind of hard for me to this day, is I have to reserve my energy for myself. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times I'll have people come into my life or friends, like they'll see, I'm not trying to say like I'm their inspiration or like whatever, but they'll see me stream or see me doing content, and they may want to start doing it themselves, or they might want to do some of the stuff I'm doing. And when I hear that, I get super excited. And I go off of what they're telling me. Like, I don't assume anything. So like if they're saying, hey, I want to do XYZ, I want to stream, I want to do a YouTube channel, I want to make TikToks, I want to do skits, I want to do all that, basically the stuff that you're doing, I will damn near stop my own processes to help them get everything set up. I will end up devoting my almost 100% of my energy to their stuff because I want to see them succeed more than me, to be honest. I want to see them do better than I'm doing. Especially because a lot of my friends, like, I feel like they have the talent to do the things that they want to do. 100% I feel like they do. But I am extremely blessed to have a circle full of talented people all around me, like in different aspects. Some of my friends, I'd be surprised. They'd be like, out of nowhere, they'll just randomly draw a picture, and I'm like, yo, what? Why don't you do this on a daily basis? That's amazing. I got friends who just start rapping for no reason, and I'm like, that would sound really good on a beat if you would, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have my friend group, my circle of people is some of the most talented people on the earth. Some of them have these talents, and they just don't want to be like, front lines, but I have a super talented circle. And again, that's why I'm willing to dive so deep and put so much of my energy, because I know they can do it if they just really want to do it. And again, they're telling me that they want to do it. So I take that at face value. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I feel like that's what you kind of have to do, or you should do. Because for me, what I say that I'm trying to do and what I'm going to make happen is truly what I'm going to do and what I'm going to make happen. Yes, obviously things do happen that slow you down, and like you got to pivot. But like what I've come to see is, unfortunately, the majority of people, like, I just have to see their actions before diving in so deep. I just have to see them put in some of the work, and then I will I don't ever stop my own stuff anymore. I've stopped doing that. Obviously, bad. Can't do that, right? But I gotta really like see how hard you're willing to work to do the things that you want to do. I'm not going to do it all for people anymore. For example, if someone comes to me and like, hey, I want to start streaming, what do I do? You can Google that, gang. There's, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's tons of YouTube videos that will show you how to set up OBS. You don't need me to start your stream. You can easily find a YouTube tutorial and get OBS running, at minimum, get it downloaded. You know what I'm saying? I can help you with the fine tuning stuff and getting this graphic that I have on my stream and how do you add notifications. I can point you in the right direction. I can maybe even send you the videos. But like, if you're looking for me to do it for you, that's already showing me that you're not willing to put in the work to make this stuff happen. Streaming is a lot, like doing content's a lot of work. Don't even try to get me to do that whole 9 to 5 conversation. I'm never going to have that conversation. We're going to sweep right past that. But streaming in its own is a lot of work. And I tell my friends this all the time. In my opinion, the streaming is the easiest part. It's super easy, at least for me, to hit start streaming, stream for 7 hours, hit end stream, do that again tomorrow. I could do that for the rest of my life. However, in reality, it's very, very rare that just streaming is going to get you to where you want to go. You have to do all the extra stuff, especially nowadays. I know in a previous episode, I talked about how back in the day when I first started streaming 2K, it was super easy. There was not nearly this many people trying to be a content creator or a streamer. There was not this many people. So you literally just had to find, let's say you want to be a FIFA content creator. You go look at all 10 of the people streaming FIFA at the time. As soon as one ends, spark up your stream. All those people are going to come to you because they now need someone to watch because their current content creator is not there. And if you're super entertaining and maybe they like you more, they'll stay. That's what happened with me back in the day. Nowadays, go whatever game you like right now. Whatever game you like. Don't close the podcast. Don't close the podcast. But open up Google on a different monitor, whatever you got to do, and just type in your favorite game on Twitch. You're gonna see probably 2,000 people streaming that same game. And to find little old me, you're gonna have to scroll for days, hours, unless you know my name by heart. You would have to scroll forever to find my stream, and then just so happen to click on it and find out that I'm really a fun guy, you know? But like I said, they have to know my name. The way to get your name out there, you gotta make the content. You gotta do the short form clips. You gotta do the long form stuff. You gotta have Twitter. You gotta have social. You have to have all this other stuff to really get your streams out there nowadays. It's not as easy as just hitting start stream on OBS or whatever you use and just streaming. You really can't do that anymore. Yeah, there are some people who that's worked for them. I'm sure that there's things that happen that have helped them along the way to get that notoriety in the streaming world, but it's rare. It's rare. When you start talking about your top streamers, you're talking about 20 different people out of the thousands who are streaming. You know what I mean? Like it's a minority of the people who have like got to the top tier. Now there's a lot more people in that like middle range where it's like they are full-time creators and they're living like a super comfortable life. If that's where you want to get to, that's a little easier to obtain. But if you're trying to get to that top tier stuff, much harder to do. And again, there's not that many at that top tier lane when it comes to streaming. But you have to do so much more nowadays, and I feel like that's what people don't realize when they want to jump into streaming. They think I just got to stream, and at some point Mr. Beast might raid me, and then boom, I'm good. Sorry to tell you, gang. Be very honest with you, no. And I do that now. I do that with people all the time. Like I'm very honest. I tell my friends all the time, like if I have people, like I have friends who have brothers or sisters or cousins or whatever that want to start streaming, I always tell them like, hey, if you don't want to tell them, I'll be the asshole. I'm very okay with that. I'm very honest. I'll let them know what the reality of it is. And it's more so because I don't want them to waste their time. Now, I'm never going to discourage people. I never discourage people. I never try to discourage people. I tell them like, hey, you can do it. If what I will always say, and you guys can vouch for me, you guys who are coming to listen to each episode, I think every single person, if you play a video game and have some type of talent, you should try to be a content creator. Everyone. And I always say, if I'm able to do it, anyone can do it. If I've been able to overcome the stuff I've overcome and I'm able to figure it out and make it work within my busy ass schedule with my job, anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. So I never try to discourage people, but I'm very honest and realistic as to what it takes to make it happen. And even for me, like I haven't fully made it. Again, I'm not a full-time content creator. I still have to work a 9 to 5. It's not like I got a choice. I have to work a 9 to 5, or else then I can't do none of this stuff. So I haven't really like made it yet, but you can look at my stuff. My stuff's constantly growing. I'm getting to those points. I'm working my way up. But I'm putting in the work. And again, even for me, I've talked about this before. For me, it's all consistency. When I go crazy and I'm consistent, all my numbers go up. The moment I slack off and start to dip down, all my numbers get stagnant or go down. So it takes a lot more work than people realize. And that's why, like, again, I have to see you be willing to put in that work. I got to see you trying to do stuff. I got to see you try to figure out how to add an overlay, and then I will help out to the best of my ability as much as I can. But yeah, I just don't dive in head first anymore. I've been drained a lot by a lot of people. Again, I don't feel any bad blood, just no hard feelings. If you're listening to this and you're someone that I've tried to help, again, I'm not trying to throw shade at you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, anything like that. Just living my truth. Again, if you got a different perspective, please let me know. Come on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? I am open to having guests on this podcast now. Like I said, we do have one coming up pretty soon. I think you guys are going to enjoy. But yeah, that's my take. That's my thoughts on just, again, you got to learn to conserve your energy. You got to learn to spend your energy wisely, because you will go bankrupt. They will take from you. People will take from you. And sometimes it's all for nothing. So be careful with your energy. Make sure you are putting you first. People think that that's a selfish thing. Yeah, for some reason, people think that putting yourself first is a very selfish thing. And yes, you can make it selfish if you're just like, it's all about me. No, yeah, calm down. But you have to put yourself first. Just like, for example, when you're on the airplane, that little thing comes down. It literally tells you have to get yourself right before you can help others. And that's very, very true. You have to make sure you're right. Make sure your stuff's good before you can help others, or else both y'all gonna fail. Both y'all finna have lack of oxygen, you know? So learn to put your energy where it needs to go. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, and you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. Again, I'm still working on that every day. I'm not perfect at it. There are times where I catch myself like, "Oop, let me slow it down. Let me put it in reverse, Terry. Let me back it up, and you know, kind of do what I can do with the time that I have." But with that being said, it's going to take us to one of my favorite parts of the podcast, the question and answer section. This is the section where I answer questions from people who are in the Rue Crew community. Like I said earlier, if you want to submit questions to the podcast, there's a couple ways you can do it. One, if you want to try to do it on Twitter, go ahead and DM me, or you can just @ me on Twitter. I will try my best to look there, but the two best spaces to do it, we have a Q&A section inside the Discord. If you want the link to the Discord, look at the description of anywhere or find any of my social medias. You can find the link to my Discord. There's a dedicated question and answer section. You can put them in there. Or if you would like to send in questions anonymously, which most people are doing, I do have an email to do that. Realla questions@gmail.com is the email. Again, it will be down in the description below. Go ahead and click it, copy and paste, send the email, send your questions. If you would like to be shouted out, you can go ahead and put whatever social media you want. I'll put it on the screen. I'll shout you out. But if you want it to be anonymous, just don't put any socials, don't put any names, and I'll just read the questions. I don't know if people are doing that on purpose, but almost every single question be anonymous. But yeah, if you want to get shouted out, go ahead and put your info. I'll shout you out. Like we had, Ziggy, my guy Ziggy. He gave me some good questions on the last episode. But we're going to go ahead and get to the questions. The first question that I have written down here, I got to read these before I put them on here. I do try to go through them and make sure it's not the same questions I've asked before, but I don't really read them. I ain't gonna lie. Some of y'all gotta work on y'all grammar, bro. Y'all be, I ain't gonna lie. So just sometimes I gotta read it and then make it make sense in my head and then read it out loud. This one's actually written pretty well. Question is, what's the biggest sacrifice you've made to become a full-time content creator? Before I even get into that, again, I am not a full-time content creator. I don't want to even give out the idea that I am. I work a full 9 to 5. Sometimes that 9 to 5 is 9 to 10. Sometimes that 9 to 5 is 9 to midnight. I work a lot. Most of my job is work from home. I do have to travel sometimes. So I am blessed in the sense that when it is work from home, I don't got to commute. My commute is the same desk that I edit and do content on. So literally, I finish up my work. As soon as I'm done, boom, we get to the content side. So I am not a full-time content creator. I do put out a lot of content, so maybe it does seem like I am, because you see me a lot on the internet, but I am in no way, shape, or form a full-time content creator. That is a goal of mine at some point. I'm not worrying about it or stressing about it, but I do want to at some point be a full-time content creator. But if we're talking about sacrifices, still, just to create content and be a content creator, period, I still do have to sacrifice things. And I would probably say my biggest sacrifice is I don't get to do things as much just for fun anymore. And what I mean by that is a lot of the times, I don't have the time to just get on 2K and play the park for fun for hours anymore. I don't have time to just hop on Marvel Rivals and play 20 quick matches or comp games back to back anymore. I do that from time to time. If I'm caught up on content and I'm good to go, there are days where I'll do that. But obviously before I was doing content, I could just do that all the time. Or the times where I'm not doing content, I could just play video games all day, not have an issue with it. But now, again, kind of what I was saying before, to do content in the scale that I'm trying to do it, it takes it's very time consuming. So when I'm done with everything, I'll sometimes go ahead and get on 2K or get on whatever and just play for fun. But a lot of times when I'm playing games, it's either being recorded or I'm streaming. And that's one reason why I play the games that I play, because if I was being forced to play games that I did not like, I would quit. There's no way I could do that. There's no way. So at least I am enjoying the things that I'm playing to create the content. But yeah, I don't get to really just do just play games. I don't really just play games. It's usually if I'm playing 2K, I'm still thinking, okay, I gotta get a couple clips, so let me do something crazy here and there. You know what I'm saying? I'm still thinking as a content creator, even when I'm if I'm just playing. And there's a lot of times where I do play and I kind of feel guilty because something will happen. I'm like, oh my god, that would have been a crazy clip. That would have been so funny if I had it. And that happens a lot. Content creators, y'all know that. Y'all know that. I know what y'all know what I'm talking about. There's always that one time where you're like, ooh, I should stream this. Ooh, I should record this. And you're like, nah, I won't. Nothing's going to happen. And the funniest thing happens. The craziest thing happens. And you don't have it. That happens to me often. So I feel kind of guilty when that happens. I'm like, damn, I kind of, but yeah, that's probably the biggest thing is I don't get to just play games just to play games as much. And there's a lot of times too where like I have to prioritize like streaming and making the content over just like going out a lot of times too. Like for example, this weekend, there's 2 movies that I really, really want to see. Fun fact, a lot of people don't know this about me. I do like musicals, but I don't like a lot of musicals. 2 of my favorite musicals have been The Greatest Showman. That's one of my all-time favorite movies, period. I love The Greatest Showman. And then Wicked was actually really, really good too. So I am excited that Wicked 2 is out, or the second part of it. But I don't have time this weekend. I have to get caught up on content. So I don't have time. I could probably try and force it, but I have not been streaming this last month because I've been trying to get all my content going. Again, I was trying to get this podcast right. I was trying to get, I launched another page. I know. I keep adding stuff on, but I launched another page, and one day I'll get into the reasons why I have so many different pages. I kind of talked about it briefly on Instagram, but I launched another page. So I was working on like I was spending most of this month just working on getting all that stuff to work and figuring out a schedule and making it work. So I haven't even had time to just stream. So this weekend I'm spending all the time to get everything right, so that way I can start back streaming up this week. And I just won't have time to go see it. I could go see it Sunday, but the Eagles play the Cowboys, and I gotta watch that. So that time will be used for that, and I could go see it during then. Or like I said, I could force it to go see it like late at night, but again, it's give and take. So I just have to wait. But that happens pretty often, where like I have to choose between going to do something fun or making the content. That's another thing I've noticed a lot of people just aren't willing to do, is that small sacrifice. Because honestly, I envision myself this time next year, I won't have that problem. I feel like I'll be at a point where when I can get an editor, y'all, the amount of content y'all gonna see when I can finally have editors, man. Because if I could just make the content and then have to like edit it, like just like the YouTube videos, like the 2K stuff, the Marvel Rival stuff, the clips. If I didn't have to do that, no, bro, y'all get about 3-4 videos a day on each channel, plus some skits. I promise you would. But because I really like, I enjoy making that stuff. It's just, and I enjoy editing, but it's just editing is so time consuming. That's the only thing. So that's probably my biggest sacrifice, is just, devoting time to this and having to prioritize it over fun stuff a lot of times. I know it's going to really, really suck when I get back to Atlanta, because there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to want to do, especially when I first move out there. I've already kind of like trying to mentally prepare for that. But that's my biggest sacrifice for that. Moving on to question number 2. That question says, how do you choose what games to make content on or play on stream? Do you go with what's currently performing, or what you actually like to play? Yeah, so how do you choose what games to create content on or to play on stream? Do you go with what's performing, or do you use what you like to play? Yeah, that was one of them grammatically weird. Hey, I don't know who did this, but I just really be copying and pasting straight from the email to this. Yeah, y'all gotta work on that. Hey, back to the AI thing. Put it in ChatGPT and it'll clean it up for you. Just saying, that was really hard for me to read, and I can read very well. But basically, they're just asking, how do I choose what games to play? Do I go with what's popular or stuff that I just actually like to play? And stuff that I actually like to play. I used to go with what was popular. So it's funny because there's a category. I don't know if everybody calls it. I got this from TBH. He's just the first person I heard kind of call it this. But you have these streamer games. And like, for example, and again, if you like these games, if these are your type of games, you like to play them, I mean no disrespect. This is just my opinion, my perspective. But like your Repos, your Lethal Company, your Among Us, like those kind of games are like streamer games where they're not fun games unless you're playing them with a certain group. You have to have a certain group for the game itself to be fun. And those are the kind of games that I don't really enjoy playing, because it's, especially being a content creator and most of your friends are content creators as well, it takes a lot to get a group together and to do it, because again, you don't really play them for fun. Usually people are getting together to make some content on it. So you got to really fit it in. Some people might be tired because they've been spending all day recording their own content. Now they got to come and do this. You know what I'm saying? Like it gets pretty difficult to kind of get those groups together. There's been a lot of times where we've had Among Us nights where we got 20 people ready to play. As soon as we send out the text like, hey, everyone's good to go, let's play, 4 people show up. That happens all the time. So for me, what I did stop doing, and if you've been watching my variety channel, DG Realla 2, if you want to head over to YouTube and subscribe to that channel, again, DG Realla 2, TOO, if you want to subscribe, my variety channel. But if you watch that, you'll see my transition into the games that I'm playing. So it started off where I was playing, we tried RP, which again was fun, but RP is, I do love RP. I love RP, but RP can be so time consuming and I get so wrapped up into it that it's like the only thing I do. And then editing it was a chore because there's just so much that would be not happening. Like I'm running down the street for 5 minutes. I got to cut that out, stuff like that. So editing it was a chore, and then it was becoming a chore trying to play it and do all that stuff. It wasn't really fun trying to create the content for it. And then we did Among Us, did a couple of Among Us videos. Again, same concept. I really wasn't having fun editing it at all. And then after the one session that we did, trying to do another session was like pulling teeth to get it together. We also did Schedule 1, which Schedule 1 was a lot of fun. I actually wouldn't mind doing more of that, Schedule 1. But again, it's one of those things where the editing wasn't terrible, but I didn't have a lot of fun editing the Schedule 1 videos. And I feel like it took a lot to make them, I don't know. Schedule 1 is a weird place. Like I really enjoyed playing the game. I think I would actually be okay with making more content. And what's really kind of annoying but a blessing is those videos did really well easily. They did pretty well. I also don't know how popular Schedule 1 still is, but I think if I started making content on it, like it'd be fine. And then what else did we play? Peak. Ooh, Peak got old for me really quick. I enjoyed Peak when it first came out. I do know there's an update for it, and I do kind of want to play it for the new update, but Peak got old super quick. Like after me playing it for like the 4th time, I was done with it. I was done with it. It again, fun when I was playing with certain people. Like if you watch the channel, you saw me play with Ari, that was a fun session. If you saw me play with my brother, fun session. But like the game itself, it got boring pretty quick. And you'll notice, like if you watch me stream those kind of games, I start to lose interest and I just start doing stuff. Like I'll just start almost sabotaging basically to like make it fun for myself again, which can be annoying for others. So I try to stay away from those kind of games. Repo is another one. Again, that really depends on who you're playing with. But the game itself, after playing it for like a month, it wasn't that fun. That's why you've never really seen any Repo videos. You don't see me really stream it that often. Among Us is fun because I'm good at it, really good at it. But again, stuff like that, those streamer games aren't my cup of tea. The 2 games that I enjoy playing and I enjoy making content on, I enjoy editing, I enjoy researching, Marvel Rivals right now, and then 2K. Those are the 2 games like I can off stream. You'll rarely ever catch me off stream loading in a repo. Rarely. You'll rarely catch me loading in Among Us. Rarely. Even though I like that game. Those kind of games I don't play, but I will play 2K all day. I'll play Rivals all day. When I get done with this and it's uploaded, guess what I'm gonna be on? Marvel Rivals. I promise you, I'm gonna be right on Marvel Rivals. I'm practicing Star-Lord. My Star-Lord's getting kind of cold, by the way. But yeah, like those are the games I like to play. And I love scary games. If you made it this far, sneak peek, only y'all will know, people who listen to the podcast, we are going to start getting scary Saturdays. Scary games. I ain't got a good name for it yet. I don't have a good name for it, but scary games are going to become a staple on that variety channel. Every single Saturday is going to be a scary game that we play because I love scary games. Even like the obscure ones, like the Fears of Fathom type animation style games. I love those. I love scary games. I am a little punk when I play them, but those are fun to me. Those are genuinely fun because my reactions, like I never like it, my reactions are so pure, and it's a lot of fun. So I do not, and I almost refuse to play games unless I really find it fun. Like if I can't play that game by myself and have the same amount of fun if I played it with 10 people, I really don't want to play those games. So I only play games that I have fun. And I feel like you guys can also notice that. Like if I'm not having fun with the game and I'm kind of forcing it, I feel like you guys can tell. I'm a pretty genuine person. Like what you see is what you get. So you can tell when I'm starting to like kind of get quiet or whatever, I'm getting bored. I'm just kind of there because I don't want to disappoint everybody else. I'm over it. I'm pretty much over it. So I tried to play those games. I'll turn down those opportunities just because it's not fun for me, and then that content I'm not really going to use. So they are fun every so often. Like I'd probably play Repo like maybe once this month, but it'll be a while again before I play it after that. So to answer the question, that long roundabout answer, I basically choose what I genuinely like. I have to like the game for me to be able to make content on it and for me to actually like stream it and stuff like that. If I don't really like it, you're not gonna see me there. I promise. Maybe once in a while, but not often. It won't be a staple for sure. All right, and we're gonna talk about the last question. This question is, do you ever feel pressure to always be entertaining? And are you different when playing games on stream versus off stream? I feel like I didn't read that second part, but I feel like that second part we might have talked about in episode 2, I believe. I could be mistaken. I feel like we kind of talked about that before. But do I ever feel pressure to always be entertaining? This might sound very like arrogant, but no. I feel like naturally I'm entertaining. Y'all let me know. I feel like naturally I'm pretty entertaining. And the reason why I say that is when I hop on stream, I'm pretty much me. Like there's the only thing I do differently when I'm streaming and versus like if I'm just by myself at home playing on stream, what I do is whatever thoughts I'm having, I just say, because I'm narrating kind of like what's going on, my thought processes and stuff like that, versus like if I'm home, I'm more so just thinking that stuff to myself. I still rage. I still rage. If you guys are in my Discord, y'all know what happened to me recently. You gotta be in the Discord. I be dropping. There's some funny stuff happen. I might talk about it on a podcast, but if you want to know what happened to me recently, join the Discord. Go to the Yappers. You'll see what happened recently. But I still rage. When I'm not streaming. That's just, I'm competitive. I want to win everything I play, so that does happen. Never mean any disrespect or like it's never actual real life anger. It's just competitive. But yeah, the only difference between like if I'm off stream by myself or if I'm playing on stream, like it's just thought process, like how I do my thoughts. I say it out loud versus just in my head. If I'm playing, like if I'm just over my homie's house and we're playing 2K, I talk probably more trash off stream. Not gonna lie, I talk a lot of trash just like I do on stream as well. The person I have coming on as a guest, the first guest, we're going to talk about that and how I really am. He'll be able to tell you the truth versus my truth. But I'm pretty much the same person when I'm on stream versus off stream. So I don't really ever feel a pressure. I feel like my community, when they come to my stream, they're coming to my stream for me. They're not coming for any version of me. And I feel like for me, that's the only reason why I don't get burnt out really. Like when it comes to creating content or when it comes to streaming is because like obviously I do get tired of it, but I don't ever feel like I just really want to stop this because I don't want to stream anymore type thing. Like obviously things happen in life where I've stopped, but it's never because of streaming itself. Because I'm just me. Like I just get on camera and I'm just me. That it makes it so much easier. Yes, I do go by like Realla, but Realla and Mike are pretty much the same person. Realla might be slightly more elevated because it just doesn't turn off. When I'm myself, like there's a lot of times where I'm just chilling. I can be quiet. I do like to talk. Obviously, that's why I started a podcast. I love to talk, but I feel like I can be pretty quiet in like public settings. Because there's a lot of times where I'm like kind of like just peeping the scene first, and then once I get a vibe of everybody, then I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm cool. But like I gotta make sure everyone's cool first. But yeah, for me, I don't ever feel the pressure. I feel like I'm just naturally entertaining, naturally kind of funny. I mean, hopefully I'm funny. I don't know. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I laugh at my own jokes and that's all that really matters. But I feel like I'm naturally entertaining, so I don't really feel like the pressures of having to turn it on when I spark stream. I just really get on here and I be chilling with my homies. Like me, us. We're chilling, we're having fun, we're playing some games, we're talking about life, talking about stuff. Boom, and I turn the stream off. So no, for me, I don't. It's pretty easy. I don't really ever have that start. I know a lot of people, a lot of content creators talk about that like start stream anxiety, where like you look at the button, you're like, oh, I don't really want to stream. I don't ever have that. I don't really have that. Sometimes I do get nervous. Like it's almost like coming back to something you ain't done in a while. So you just want to make sure like if if you haven't played basketball in a long time and then like you're about to go play, you might feel a little nervous because it's kind of like, ooh, like do I still got it? Like, are people still gonna be cool with me? So I do feel nervous sometimes, like if I haven't streamed for a while, but like I never really look at the start stream button. I'm like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. I just click it. I click it, start it. Because I feel like I'm just being genuinely me, so it's not really that hard. But yeah, again, a long-winded answer to your very short question. No, no, I don't ever feel that pressure. And I feel like I'm pretty much the same off stream as I am on stream. Again, if you're in the Discord, there are a lot of times where, like on the off times where I'm not streaming, and I do have some free time, like late at night, like we're talking midnight, 2 a.m. There's a lot of times where we're in the Discord, like streaming and like streaming the games like within Discord. So y'all just pull up, come in the VC, hang out with us. Again, got to be in the Discord. I know I've talked about Discord a lot. Y'all got to come up in there, and y'all can see literally how I am. I'm very accessible. You people want to hop in VC, I'll hop in there and play some games. Call it a night. But yeah. That is going to wrap it up for this episode of Realla's World Podcast. Again, if you made it all the way to the end, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It really means the world to me. Again, this podcast is really a passion project for me. I enjoy doing it. And I hope you took something from this. I hope this helped you out in some kind of way. And if it did, share it with a friend. You never know. Maybe I said something in here that might spark them or help them or, in any kind of way. So you want to share that with your friends. Again, if you haven't, make sure you're following the podcast on social media. It is on Twitter. It's on TikTok. Obviously, it's on YouTube. It's almost on every single streaming platform, and it's on Instagram. So make sure you're following the podcast on all the platforms. We're trying to grow it. We're trying to get there. We're trying to make it happen. But like I said, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And until next time, I'm out of here.